to thank the press media for taking up this time and coming to us. Regarding the issue of IMDH, see, IMDH at the moment, they have a strength of 15 doctors, including the medical superintendent, which is not sufficient. IMDH is a 150-bedded hospital. The required strength for a 150 hospital, I think it has to be around 24 doctors, but at the moment we have only 15 doctors, including the medical superintendent. There is also acute shortage of medical personnel, including ICU nurses and technicians. During our surprise inspection, we have learned that the hospital authority, they have employed around 24 personnel, including plumbers, ICU, nurses, lab technicians, and everything. So acute shortage of doctors. Because of that, there is no regular OPD at the moment. We have written to the department, a representation to the department, giving them a 30 days period to look after this issue, but so far they didn't respond. Likewise, after the expiry of 30 days, we issued an ultimatum of 7 days to the principal director for immediate response. So after the expiry of the ultimatum, we had a meeting with the committee set by the Department of Health and Welfare with Ausenton, Watson, AKM, and the officials from the IMDH. The department actually presented their grievances on their part, and they assured that one anesthesia doctor and the doctor which was posted from the DB hospital will be transferred after completing prior departmental procedures. The deadlock was on the gynae doctor. But they've told us that at the moment there is acute shortage of gynae doctors in Nagaland, and there can be no replacement unless NPSC conducts its examination. But as we all know, after 2021, there is no advertisement of doctors in Nagaland, and we have learned that it is because of some ongoing court cases. And we all know that the court cases, it may prolong for another 4 or 5 years. So in the 4 or 5 years, if there is no advertisement, if there are no doctors, then the current state of IMDH and many hospitals, it will be deteriorated. So again, on our part, we have put our demands that we have clearly stated to the team from Department of Health and Welfare that unless there is a time frame, unless there is a written assurance that we will not call off for agitation, and unless all these are presented in written form, there is no agreement. Likewise, in the meeting yesterday, again on our part, we have clearly stated, and we were not part of this minutes agreement. So we have come to know through the dailies. It was out in the Nagaland Post that, and it was also presented by our DC that in the meeting minutes it was mentioned that the following points were discussed and agreed upon, which we were not part of it. So we clearly want to let the people know that we were not part of this agreement, and our demand stands as stated before. We won't be calling off for agitation unless there is a written assurance and a time frame to it. So that's how it is. And regarding the meeting minutes, we have responded to our Deputy Commissioner yesterday itself. Responded this way: on the subject cited above, the undersigned would like to bring to your kind with regard to the meeting minutes held at IMDH conference hall. The representative of AKM never agreed upon the minutes that have been resolved in the meeting. That, sir, as gesture of being invited, the representative expressed our grievances that put our signature only in the attendance sheet, which is not allowed to be used as a signatory in the agreed upon the meeting minutes. That's how we have responded to our deputy commissioner. We are not calling off the agitation, and because of that reason, we have to initiate this mass public review.
Just all was with the gynae doctors, right? So that means if they transferred a gynae doctor to the IMDH, then the issue will be settled.
Yes, there can be a solution after that, because the deadlock was in gynae doctor. At the moment, we have only one gynae doctor at IMDH. The Mokokchung being one of the centers, we have patients from nearby districts, and in our during our inspection, we have found that in the last 11 months, there is around 3,958 gynae cases with only one doctor looking after it. So during the leave days, it is quite difficult for the patients, and most patients from low background, they have to look for treatment elsewhere, which is quite a burden to them. So this is one important factor that we are not compromising on this issue.
What is the next step that the AKM has planned?
Our next phase will be starting by Monday, so please do expect some agitation and movements. At the moment, we cannot disclose what we will be doing, but we are certainly planning our next phase from Monday.
Okay.